Dark chocolate might seem like an indulgence more than a health food, but high-quality dark chocolate with high cocoa content does contain compounds that are genuinely interesting from a brain health perspective. However, we need to very carefully distinguish between legitimate science and wishful thinking that conveniently makes desserts seem like medicine. The beneficial compounds in dark chocolate are primarily flavonols, a type of polyphenol found in cocoa. Research suggests these compounds may activate cellular stress resistance pathways, improve blood flow, including cerebral blood flow, reduce oxidative stress, and potentially influence NAD+ metabolism through effects on enzymes like sirtuins that both consume and help regulate NAD+. Several studies have examined dark chocolate or cocoa flavonols and cognitive function. Some show improvements in attention, processing speed, and working memory, particularly after acute consumption. Other research suggests longer-term cocoa flavanol supplementation might improve cognitive performance in older adults, especially those with mild cognitive impairment. Blood flow improvements have been documented with functional brain imaging. The proposed mechanisms involve improved vascular function, reduced inflammation, and activation of neuroprotective pathways. In moderation, these effects could theoretically support brain health and help maintain NAD+ balance by reducing cellular stress. However, massive caveats are necessary here. First, the research showing cognitive benefits typically uses cocoa flavanol supplements providing 500 to 900 milligrams of flavonols, often in controlled formulations. To get equivalent amounts from chocolate, you'd need to eat very large quantities, potentially 100 plus grams of dark chocolate, depending on cocoa content and processing. That would provide 500 plus calories, enormous amounts of saturated fat and sugar, and would absolutely not be healthy. Second, chocolate processing dramatically affects flavanol content. Dutch processed or alkalized cocoa has much lower flavanols than natural cocoa. Most commercial chocolate, even dark chocolate, has reduced flavanol content due to processing. The percentage of cocoa doesn't reliably indicate flavanol content. You might eat a lot of dark chocolate and get minimal flavonols. Third, chocolate is calorie-dense, contains substantial sugar even in dark varieties, and includes saturated fat. Obesity, diabetes, and metabolic dysfunction are all risk factors for Alzheimer's disease. Eating chocolate freely under the guise of brain health could lead to weight gain and metabolic problems that dramatically outweigh any potential cognitive benefits from flavonols. Fourth, some people are sensitive to caffeine and theobromine in chocolate, which can cause sleep disturbances, anxiety, or heart palpitations. Poor sleep is detrimental to brain health and NAD+ metabolism, so if chocolate disrupts your sleep, you're net negative despite any flavanol benefits. The research on chocolate and cognition is also limited and mixed. Many studies are funded by chocolate companies, publication bias favors positive results, and the clinical significance of small cognitive improvements is debatable. We're very far from having evidence that eating dark chocolate prevents or treats Alzheimer's disease. From a practical perspective, if you enjoy dark chocolate and want to include it as an occasional treat, choosing varieties with high cocoa content, 70% or higher, and minimal added sugar makes sense. A small square or two, 10 to 20 grams, several times per week fits into most healthy diets without excessive calories. This provides pleasure and potentially some beneficial compounds without derailing your metabolic health. But don't convince yourself that eating large amounts of chocolate is health-promoting. It's not. The amounts needed to match research doses of flavonols would be unhealthy through caloric load alone. If you're seriously interested in cocoa flavonols for brain health, isolated supplements with controlled flavanol content make more sense than trying to get therapeutic doses from chocolate, though even supplement evidence is preliminary. Don't eat chocolate you dislike just for potential brain benefits. The benefit-to-risk ratio doesn't support that. And never prioritize chocolate consumption over fundamentals like eating vegetables, maintaining healthy weight, exercising, and sleeping adequately. Those factors have far stronger evidence for brain health than any amount of dark chocolate polyphenol. Chocolate can be part of a healthy life if enjoyed in moderation, but it's fundamentally a treat, not medicine. Approaching it as a brain health strategy is mostly rationalization for eating dessert, which is fine if you acknowledge what you're doing, but less fine if you're deceiving yourself that it's therapeutic.